little bit of a chat with you, a bit of an update. Matt's here again for another house tour video. Last time we filmed a video because people thought you were really grumpy and really annoyed, but I did explain to them your granddad was in hospital and it was kind of a stressful week, guys. So Matt is here. Be kind to him because
this is my new face.
He doesn't do YouTube videos. So be kind to Matt. He's not a YouTuber. He's coming into my video and just giving his opinions, but be nice guys.
I'm an alien in your world.
Play nice. So today we are talking about the house. I did say last week, I told them that hopefully it was going to be, this week was going to be the finished product.
And you were shit out of luck.
Yeah, it's not happened again. So yeah, we're just taking a deep breath. There have been a few stressful times this week. Throughout the whole thing it's been quite stressful, but there have been a few stressful times this week, mainly to do with the wall situation. So do you want to tell everybody what happened with the wall? Because I don't want to talk about it.
They're just leaning and they look like a strong
These are the garden walls.
Wind
yeah, we'll
blow them over. Yeah, not the house walls. The house is going to stay standing. But yeah, unfortunately the garden walls may crush a child. Originally,
like I said to you guys, we didn't show you the outside yet, mainly for privacy reasons, because if we show you the outside, like, you'll be able to see landmarks around where we live, and I will show you some of the outside, but it's, you know, you gotta be safe. We will show people like what we do to the garden and stuff next year as the weather starts warming up, but
I'll show you one brick.
One brick. The problem that we've got is that the garden has a wall that is shared with next door, and then, like most houses do, and then a wall at the back. And the wall at the back, we were going to have it rendered, weren't we? And sort of partially taken down, because one side of it is stone and that was solid, and the other side was brick and it was kind of a bit meh. So we were taking that down and having it all rendered on the inside to make it look neat and tidy, and we could have plants growing on there. But the one at the side is bad, like really bad, and as they've started to do ours, they've realised that this wall that's separating us from our next door neighbour is incredibly unsafe. The problem is that the next door neighbours are renting that property, so we've had to deal with the landlady I should say, who's really nice, but the issue lies with the fact that we spoke to our solicitor, we looked at the deeds, and there's nothing in the deeds to say who's responsible for that wall, and it's a massive cost because all the footings of the walls are not right, and so it's added a lot of money onto something that was already kind of spiralling out of control in terms of cost, just for problems that we've encountered. So it's been a bit of a tough week. We don't really know anything about building walls and things like that.
We're blagging it. We
are blagging it a little bit, and you don't want to come across like you really don't know what you're talking about, but at the same time you don't want to act like you know what you're talking about, because you could say something that could potentially have a massive knock-on
down the line. Yeah,
and so it's been quite stressful, and it's held everything up really. And also at the moment I put a picture on Instagram, on Twitter, you saw that picture of the kitchen, I texted it to you, didn't I?
Oh.
Yeah, it's
made me twitch.
Got all scaffolding in at the moment because the outside, they were doing the outside of the wall, weren't they?
They were.
And the wall, they've had problems with that, and also the weather has been just so bad that, you know, if they're rendering and doing nice things to the wall, it's got to be dry, and you know, you could do it in a bit of rain, but it's been quite crap weather in the northwest.
And then the lock broke on the back door.
Yeah, the builder turned the key in the lock on our back door, and the key snapped in the lock.
So now
so that's been open.
All the building materials in the back garden are now
in the kitchen,
chilling in our kitchen.
And a big cement mixer in our living room. And the good news is that hopefully all these things are, apart from the outside, we've had to just cover ourselves, write letters to the neighbour next door telling her please don't let your kid play. I mean, it's good that it's not happening in the summer, because that kid is not going to be playing out, I don't think.
Not in November in Lancashire.
Not in November in Lancashire, no. So it's cold, hopefully it's not going to interrupt their life too much, because the child is not going to be playing. But do you know what worries me is, like, if we got a bit of snow and the kid went out in the garden and built a snowman, like, I don't even want to think about that. So we've written letters to the neighbour, we've told our solicitor, and we've also told the landlord, so we've kind of covered ourselves. But if something happened, we would be liable. and the back wall, there is someone that parks their car near that back wall, and we've obviously had to, they can't park their car there because the way the back wall is, it could just fall on their car, and again we would be liable because it's our property.
Yeah.
Stressful.
Although that car parking there does block the entire street, so
yeah, it does. So really, they shouldn't block there. But we've had a couple of things this week. Like, I mean, most of our new neighbours have been really understanding. That house that we got has been empty for 10 years. It's been in this state for 10 years. So that lady we spoke to was quite glad.
Yeah. That
someone was moving into it, because if you had a house on your street that had been just empty and an empty shell for years, it's not like it's an eyesore, but
it's just it's a shame to have something derelict, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously it's just a nice feel of, you know, like neighbourliness if you've got neighbours on your street and you're not just like opposite this empty house. I don't know. So most of the neighbours have been really understanding. The girl that's renting the house next door has been really understanding and really nice about it. Hopefully we haven't caused people too much noise and too much disruption, but there's no other way to do it really, is there? We have had a bit of an incident with the neighbour. We had a skip.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, we had a skip, and because, well, the builders had a skip, we didn't really know about this, did we, until after it had happened, but the actual skip couldn't be parked out the front of our house because it's one of those streets where it's just a free-for-all. People just park wherever they want to, and we don't have a driveway, and so because we don't have a driveway, very often we can't park in front of our own house, which, you know, is fine. There's plenty of places we can park nearby. It's not a big deal. But because we couldn't put the skip there at that moment in time, it had to be put slightly in front of another neighbour's house, and the builder knocked on all the doors, didn't he, and said this skip won't be there forever. As soon as this car moves, we'll pull it up and it'll be outside the house that it's, you know, corresponding to. But there was one person that wasn't in, and I think he got a bit annoyed. He came home and saw the skip was partially in front of his house, and he took it into his own hands.
He tied the skip to his 4x4 and decided to pull it into the middle of the road.
Yeah. So then people couldn't get past. And
what are you going to do with this guy? What are you going to do with a guy like that?
I don't want to make any enemies. I really don't want to make any enemies, but, you know, he could have knocked on the door and just said, could you move it, and that would have been absolutely fine. And like I said, the builder tried to tell everyone, so we've had that this week. We've had the walls, we have the solicitors, the legality of who owns the wall, and also a few things have gone wrong in terms of the electrics. We can't have a few things that we wanted just because of the way the house is set up. Yeah. We can't have a few that I wanted, lights going up the stairs, that can't happen. Lights under the kitchen cabinets, that can't happen. So just a couple, it's just not been the best week, but I know the builders are working really hard to get it done. But what's the house like in your opinion now? Sorry, I've done all the talking in this video. It's
like a house-ish. Before it was like just bare walls. Now it's all plastered. Most of the rooms have got the flooring in. You can kind of envisage the finished product now, which was a bit difficult before. Apart from the bathrooms, the wet room is still a bit of a floorboard nightmare. The main bathroom I can pretty much see.
Yeah.
That probably won't be far off done when we go up today.
I hope so. Yeah, we're going up today because another thing that happened is that Tyler broke his arm, and so he only did an hour's work and then he didn't come back. So there's a new Tyler now on the job.
Yep.
So we just need to go up and make sure we're happy with everything that he's doing, and the wet room hopefully will look a bit different when we go.
That'll be the dream.
That'll be the dream. So the other thing that happened is that our bathroom was partially tiled, wasn't it? And I was a bit worried about the flooring that we ordered, and also the tiles that we'd ordered, just because they're such big things, and it's like wallpaper. You put it on and you don't know until it's on all of your walls what it's going to feel like and what it's going to look like, and it's a lot of money to spend. And I was panicking last night when we were on holiday.
You were?
I was panicking because I thought we were coming back to a finished house, and I was panicking that I would walk in and I would hate the floor, I would hate the tiles.
No.
Were you worried about it?
No.
Not at all?
I didn't think to be.
You didn't think about it?
I wasn't apprehensive about going to the house, but
not even just before you went in the door?
Once I was in the house, I was like, and things hadn't quite moved to where we thought they would have done.
Oh, our little background's gone from our screen.
Well done, Gemma.
That's just another thing that's going wrong with this house. Yeah, I was extremely worried about the tiles and the flooring, and I actually really like them. We bought the flooring from Factory Direct Flooring, yeah, which is actually probably the best place that I've seen in terms of prices. We got solid wood for the living room, and we got like a high quality laminate for the rest of the place, and I'm really happy with it.
It looks good.
It looks good, and they were really good prices. So yeah, I'll link that below if any of you are interested in looking for flooring. And the only thing is, you can't see it, and we spent a lot of money on the floor in one go. It's a lot of money, like thousands of pounds to buy the floor, and you're just like,
I hope it's gonna look
I hope
nice.
I like it. Yeah, I hope I like it. So I'm really happy that that worked out. The only thing was the tiles. I wasn't sure, was I, when they were on the wall?
No.
Because of the light.
Basically, we've got these grey tiles for the master bathroom, but because the room was quite dark when we first went in, and there was only like this one dangling light rather than the 5 spotlights which we're gonna have in the room.
It was dark
at night. It looked really dark, and Gemma was like, "Oh, what have I done to the bathroom? Why have I done so dark?" But I think they'll be alright.
And I think because our big double sink is bright white, the toilet's bright white.
I think the fixtures will have the contrast that it needs.
Yeah, it'll lighten it up, and also, like Matt said, we are now having 5 spotlights on the ceiling, really bright spotlights, instead of the one like kind of pendant light that was there. So I think that's really important. If there's something that you're not happy with, you have to tell the builder, you have to say, this doesn't look like I thought it was going to look. Because when we looked at the tiles in the shop, it was under fluorescent lighting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they look one way, and then you put them in your bathroom, which is darker, and it looks a bit different because you don't have the same lighting. So it's an easy fix, put the lights in. But again, that all costs money because that wasn't factored into the original budget.
Yeah, and we'll show you how it comes out.
Yeah, we will do. So how are you feeling at this stage? Are you feeling positive about this whole situation?
Yeah, we'll get there.
We will get there.
Now it's just painting, that's going to take forever. I just can't wait for it to be finished.
Yeah. My mum and dad are coming over from Gran Canaria in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks now?
Yeah, we better find them a hotel.
They're staying with us. So that is going to be interesting because I don't know how much we're going to have done by the time they come.
Or whether they're going to have it with us.
Whether they're going to have a bed.
Will we have even been able to move in, do you think?
Yeah.
I
believe. I believe. So we're staying optimistic. Yeah, we are. We are optimistic. Thank you for being patient. We will hopefully have something else to show you next week. Even if the house is not ready, this Friday I am going to go down to London. I'm doing some filming at the Ideal Home Show, and I'm going to try and get some inspiration for the house, and I'm also going to be filming that for you guys so that you can see what goes on at the Ideal Home Show, what kind of stuff is there. Hopefully next week we'll have something more interesting either way, but cross those fingers again, cross your legs, cross your eyes, cross your toes, cross everything that we'll be done soon. Okay, thanks for watching guys, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.